work hard, play harder, only way to father, the good times father. Some say why bother, I bother as nothing's better. The voice from within is higher, preach choir, can't stop, won't stop until I choose to retire. I reach higher, aiming to be fly with my heart, purpose is fire. People to the fire for desire, I aspire to reach higher. City so on fire, cutscene scenery to admire.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy King Evie in the cut. Welcome back to another Limitlesss Podcast. I'm with your boy
Triple Crown Don, and we welcome you back. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and last but not least, as the homie always likes to say, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's it. That's the one.
Triple Crown, what's poppin'?
That's what's poppin'.
Alright, for sure. I got mine right here too. Listen, I start off the podcast playing that song. So you know what I'm saying? Obviously you know whose song is that. That's one of your
I think that guy sounds familiar. 2 years old? That sounds quite familiar. That song? 2 years ago.
2 years ago. By far one of my favorites. I mean, that's why you keep hearing me playing it. You know what I'm saying? I used this song about 2 years ago as well for an intro that I created for, you know, some channel I had before. But, yeah, man. What's good? How's the music treating you?
I mean, the music got me on a red. Just be, you know, constantly keeping myself up. Chopping up ideas, you know, practicing, doing a lot of different things, you know what I mean? Coming up with this creative concepts that you might see very soon. You know me, I'm kind of like Bryson in a way. I don't really like to say too much. I'd rather just...
I mean, which is good, right? That's the right way to do it, you know, surprise the people, surprise their fans, surprise the crowd. Yeah, you know, you're an entertainer. Yeah, I mean, I would want to know what you're doing, and then you drop your music and I already heard it. I'd be like, heard it before. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to turn up before the song comes out, if you know what I'm saying. But yo,
yeah.
For this video's topic is, I just want to get your feedback on what you think about labels and people owning their own masters, having the rights to your songs, like. If you had a choice right now, right? Mm-hmm. And say, for example, I use Gucci Mane, for example. And Gucci Mane approach you right now. And he wants to sign you. What would you do in that situation?
One, I'd ask what my role is, what your plans are for me in your team, what exactly is your long-term goal, short-term goal, what exactly is going to be my specific role. How long do you expect me to reach a certain point? Is it going to be like a one album deal, one song deal, a partnership where you're trying to grow? So many questions to ask, man.
What would you prefer?
To be honest, it just depends on the situation. I can't say I would prefer any over the other. The only thing I wouldn't choose is probably a single, because, it's like once the single's out, that's it. It's like you were never signed. So for me, it's anything besides that. It's like one album deal, because even if it's one album, you do a good album, you have professional experience working with a, credible artist or label or whatever it is for that one album. It could take 2 years to make the album. So that means you have 2 years of experience, even though it's only one album. Doesn't matter. So to me, it's either one album or you have some sort of long-term goal where it's like, okay, we want to grow you as an artist. This is what we're going to do to get you here. And then you can do whatever. Have your role on the team.
So you're kind of looking for kind of a short-term deal, but not a one label, like a one track type of deal. You know what I mean? So are you leaning more towards getting the exposure, like sign a label to get the exposure, and then take matters in your own hands and just go from there, or would you stay signed if you had the opportunity to?
To answer your question, this might sound funny, but it really does depend. I mean, look at LL. He signed almost like a 13 album deal, right? And he pretty much had his whole career with one label, Def Jam, right? And then you have other artists where they never had that luxury. So it just depends on the situation at hand. Like some artists, they might switch labels a lot, like Common, or you end up just staying in one place like LL, or you grow somewhere and then you move on, kind of like what Juvenile did. He grew with Cash Money, then he moved on, did his own thing, came back. It just depends on what you're willing to accept in the situation and what your circumstances are and what your long-term vision for yourself is and what they present to you. I mean, I remember this very vividly when T-Pain said that when Akon was speaking to him, Akon didn't offer him a whole lot of money. I think it was 20K at the time. And he said 20K in a career. So he chose the 20K even though he could have got paid more up front, but it wasn't necessarily for a long-term deal. And that's why he ended up with having a career, because Akon looked at him as a big picture, like you can bring in more revenue than just you make one project or one song and then you're out. And then what? But he was willing to sacrifice money for the long-term benefit. So at the end of the day, it just depends on what kind of deal presented to you at that time that you feel is best to get you either foot in the door or secure yourself, if you will.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're not against it. Okay. What I'm trying to find out is are you against the whole fact? I mean, like most artists right now, right? They're leaning more towards like owning their masters, you know what I mean, not being signed, right? Are you against that?
No, of course not. I mean, at the end of the day, that those are conversations that obviously would have to be had depending on what the offer is. Then that would be probably a part of the conversation somewhere. It just depends on the situation. Again, but at the same time...
Yeah,
no, go ahead. Or you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
So pretty much I would say I would prefer to own my own masters, but sometimes when you're a new artist, you can't always just come in and just demand right away. You kind of have to build a rep for yourself and then be like, okay, I've proven this. Now, is there some way, or up front, you'd be like, well, maybe we can work some sort of deal where I own a percentage of my masters, and then by the end of this deal, I end up either owning 50%, 100%, whatever, and work towards it as time goes on. Every couple of months or every time I reach a bonus or a stage or something, I get more of my own percentage of my masters, something like that, where at least two people can come to a conclusion or agreement where it's like, okay, you start here small, you taking this, but then eventually you give me what is mine. Which, depending on how you say it or who you're dealing with, it will work. You know what I mean? Just like how I'm saying it. If you just come and be like, hey, I'm a new artist. If you act all big before your time, and you're like, oh, I want my masters, good luck with that.
Okay.
You just have to know who you're dealing with or what they present to you. If somebody comes to you right away and says, oh, you get full creative control, you get to make your music at your pace, all we ask is the highest quality and expect a certain type of sound, blah, 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 or a certain level of success, and that's it. You can have your masters, whatever. That just depends. But usually smaller labels would give you more creative freedom and control to own your stuff versus a big label who wants to, stay big.
Of course. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's a beautiful thing when you can own the masters to your music, you know what I mean, to your art. That's your work, that's your baby, you know what I mean?
Royalties.
I know it's hard though. I mean, unless you got the bread up front, it's a hard road. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of artists do it, and kudos to them. They get certain support. I mean, they were probably trapped, in the streets before they become artists and stuff like that. But I mean, they were probably in the streets before they became an artist. And I know it's rough. I know it's hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an artist, obviously, but I feel like if I take that path, I feel like it would take me longer to get there unless I'm very special. You know what I mean? Unless I have that extra talent, that sauce. I feel like it would take me longer to get there. But when I do get there, I'll be better off. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have nobody to answer to. Nobody telling me what to do. Nobody telling me where I should take my career. Nobody changing my music and my sound, because that does happen. Right? But
I mean, that's why T-Pain felt good about his deal, even though it was only $20K.
But if I wanted
where he is now.
If I wanted to get there faster, I can sign with somebody, and then pretty much it's a job at this point. I mean, because now you have a boss, you're working for somebody. You know what I mean? Like, to us,
you have deadlines. You have certain sounds you're supposed to create. You have a certain type of thing that you got to do.
Yeah.
J. Cole experienced it. I mean, look how he came out. When he came out, he sounds nothing like when he came out, but that wasn't exactly what he wanted to do.
So, I mean, what I'm saying is, I guess it's to each his own, and the situation that you're in.
Right. There's so many different paths and roads that people go just to do what they love doing, right?
Yeah.
Until it works out for them, because not everybody's situation is the same. It's like NBA. I love using this analogy. It's like an NBA star, Gerald Wallace. He played for the Charlotte Bobcats forever. He didn't become a star till later in his career, but he soldiered it out. He was quiet, kept developing, then boom, he became a star. Then you have somebody like Kobe Bryant, who was the chosen one. From day one, cameras were on him. Then you had somebody like Iverson, who was a superstar before he even came into the NBA. When he came to the NBA, he's crossing up Jordan already and has Jordan's respect, because Jordan and Pippen are already double teaming him in his first season just to slow him down because they know he's dangerous, right? So it just depends on what kind of, it factor that you bring to the table. Certain dudes have to develop and then become stars. Others, they're chosen already, like Kobe, and then others are just instant bona fide superstars already out the box, right? So it just depends on what you have. Look at Lil Wayne. I mean, Lil Wayne was already good, but he didn't become a star until he said, okay, I'm putting Cash Money on my back. Then he made the Carter series. Next thing you know, the Carter's history. Then you have somebody like Nas, who was a prodigy. His first album, everybody's begging to work with him. Oh, this DJ, this producer, blah, blah, blah. Right? So everybody's situation, it mirrors like just what I described, right? Lil Wayne wasn't the guy everyone was chasing right out the box. But then in the 2000s, you couldn't get rid of him. Everyone's like, oh, I need Lil Wayne on my song. Come on, Lil Wayne on my song. Right? And then you have Nas is just sitting there. Everyone just killing themselves to work with Nas. And he didn't even start an album yet. Right? So it just depends on whether you're chosen or you work hard in your craft to become chosen.
Okay. Which is like anything in this world, right?
You switch your own lane. Like, you know what I mean? You find a lane where you fit, like Tyga, and he's a hit maker. You're not going to call him a lyricist or whatever, but...
Which Tiger are you talking about?
Not Tiger Woods. That's another story. That Tiger Woods situation, we won't get into that in this podcast.
No, I'm not. But I wasn't even saying Tiger Woods. I'm just trying to find out if there's another Tiger in the rap game.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to find out. I don't know which Tiger you're talking about.
No. Tiger, the same one that we did the little, light-skinned Lil Wayne video.
Yeah. I'm messing with you. I know what you're talking about, but Tiger, I fuck with you, man. I don't know where your career is, bro. I don't know where it is. You know what I mean? But continue.
I didn't see that one come.
I just saw. Hey, it's the truth. I'm being honest. And then again, it's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think he's good, great. I think he's good, but not great. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, continue.
It's just the long and short of what I'm saying is, because I don't want to go forever. It's just, you know, everyone is different. You know, some people develop right away. Some people don't need to develop because they're already there, and some take time.
Yeah.
Right, and then
Understood.
sometimes that's the kind of path that industry or label is gonna push you. Right, if they see that you're instant, then everyone's gonna want to sign you, or somebody small sees your talent and says, you know what, we'll work with this guy. There's a lot of raw talent here. If we can harness and help him and allow him to be free to be creative, he can blossom and blow up. Next thing you know, everyone's coming to his door. Then you have another guy where it's just like, boom. He didn't even touch the mic yet, and everyone's like, Lord, help us all. He's going to destroy the mic.
But you know what, though? You know what I
And
love
there's
about this?
guys who start out fire, and next thing you know, they get signed.
You know what I love? You know what I love about this, though?
Mm-hmm.
The internet, man. It's turning everybody into the stars, into rappers. R&B, I haven't seen or heard anything coming out of R&B for a while. But yeah, I mean, the internet, there's so many rappers out there, bro. Whether they're good or bad, you know, they're making money, and it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, it's a good thing. You know, back in the days, you're used to who you see on BET. I mean, those are the big guys. But then now there's like artists on the YouTube that you probably never heard about, and I did. And to me, they're like, yo, like Pop Smoke, for example. Like, bro, like I first listened to Pop Smoke music, bro. I was like, this guy's crazy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's before Pop Smoke got big. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's sad because he got more famous after
But you
after
were
he
telling
died.
me about him long
You
before
know what I
he
mean?
even got
But
shine. I'm like, who's this guy? And you're telling me long time.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all thanks to the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, Money Man. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know if you know
told me
Money
about it.
Man, bro. That guy's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy's probably one of my
Shout
favorite
outs to
rappers
Money
like right
Man.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing great things. I mean, I love that video, that remix that little baby he did with Little Baby. Loved it. Loved it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. But anyways, man, we're not gonna push this video any longer. So yeah, I guess it's to each his own, and owning your masters or signing with somebody. You know what I mean? Depends on where you're at. If you can support yourself, support yourself. If you have to sign with somebody, sign with somebody. Get your bread. But at the end of the day, we want to hear your music. You know what I mean? Good luck to y'all. Anyways, my guy, it's your boy King Heavy.
It's your boy Triple Crown Don. Shout out to Perspective by Pierce.
Yeah, shout out to Pierce. All right, man. Limitlesss Podcast.
We out.
Yeah.